Today we're going to take a look at this beautiful facsimile edition of the Superman vs. Muhammad Ali tabloid. Look at this thing. Welcome back to Comics Are Dope. I'm BJ Kicks, and in this video I'm going to give you a quick overview of the all-new collector's edition number 56. This is a reprint of the story most known as Superman versus Muhammad Ali. This was originally released back in 1978 by DC Comics in this huge oversized like tabloid edition format. And real quick, let's do a quick size comparison. The only other way I've ever seen this story was actually in a deluxe hardcover. We're going to do a comparison because the colors in this deluxe hardcover are different. But let's grab just a quick comic book, a regular sized comic book to compare this to. I figured it'd be even more fitting to compare it to a Superman comic. So here we go. Here is the tabloid edition versus a standard sized single issue of Superman from the Bizarro's World storyline. Shout out to Dan Jurgens. But anyway, I wanted to show you guys a quick overview of this. Specifically, I wanted to show you the differences between the colors on this edition and the recolored deluxe from back in 2010. But while I'm here, I got to give a huge shout out to Fight or Flight Comics in Raleigh, North Carolina for supplying me with this copy. Not only did I get this copy, but I also got this that DC just reprinted. Super cool, shiny foil edition cover. Sure, it's a gimmick. Sure it is, but I don't care. I got it. So anyway, huge shout out to Dan at Fight or Flight Comics for sending that my way. Now, let's take a look at this book. And like I said, I wanted to show you the difference between this and the new digital recolors. So let's jump right in. This is definitely like a super classic, like seminal book. One of the most iconic things about it, you're already looking at. It's got this great wraparound cover with a who's who of stars, celebrities, comic book staffers, all sorts of people. Like, am I tripping? Is that Cher? Right? Like, is that Cher? Does that make him Sonny Bono? The Jackson 5 are here, or as they're called, the Jacksons. We've got Jimmy Carter. I'm assuming, of course, this would be First Lady Rosalind. That looks like Stevie Wonder. Clark Kent's right there. So we got a lot of, like I said, a who's who on this cover. Oh, what is that guy's name? I don't remember. But the point is, lots of very cool, notable. Is that Thurgood Marshall? Anyway, all right. The more I look at this, the more I'm like, yo, that's crazy. Playing I Spy is great. But so the cover is already iconic, but what's inside is even more iconic, as this contains a boxing match between Superman and Muhammad Ali. Now, right off the bat, we're going to go ahead and start with the color comparison. Here's something cool. On the inside front cover, you actually do get a key, so you don't have to guess as to who all these people are. You can look here, and like I said, this lady I thought looked like Cher. She's right here. Let's find her in the key. Somewhere around here-ish, right? 53. I was right. 53. Number 53 is Cher. Look at me knowing things. Anyway, so real quick, let's look at the differences between this deluxe edition and the book that is in front of me. Really cool. Foil, shiny stuff. Nice. And we're going to skip straight to the first page of the story. One thing you don't get, at least at the beginning, is this key showing who all is in the book. But let's take a look. As you can see, as I bring this closer to the camera, you can see that this color has been altered digitally. We're seeing highlights in the skin tone and stuff, and even in Superman's suit that just don't exist elsewhere. Even looking at like this globe, this whole page, honestly, has a different color palette than what we get from the actual tabloid. Now looking back, kind of zooming out, you can see it was just colors of a different day. You had CMYK, you could mix a few colors. I think back then comics were made with like 64 colors, period, like a crayon box. So a lot less, you were a lot more limited to what colors you could use. And while I get it, like I get why they wanted to update the colors, I like seeing it in its original condition. Speaking of original condition, having it in this oversized tabloid as opposed to this, where even like the pages have to be shrunken down so they can fit on this new standard format. So you see, you got a lot of letterboxing. It's like watching a widescreen movie on an old VHS or old TV set. It's kind of like that. But anyway, so we're going to look at this first splash page, and we can see clearly right here, the red is definitely more striking. I get why they did that. But looking, you see, like I said, highlights and shadows added to a lot of these color spots where they wouldn't have been and were not in the original. So seeing that pink shirt versus the purple shirt that this woman's wearing, the vest color is different. This guy's skin, you know, I appreciate the nuances in his skin tones for sure. And the same can be said of most of the people of color. This is probably the most egregious lady right here. Like she's almost like, I don't know, like purplish black. And so in the recolored edition, she's a little bit, you know, more skin toned. So that's cool. But even here, right, like I guess green wasn't available like that. So we got this little spot of green on his necklace. But on the original edition, it was just red and orange. So really cool stuff. I can nerd out about colors all day. I'll spare you. Instead, let's go ahead and keep thumbing through this. So if you're not familiar with the story, there is basically an alien invasion. And to stop this sort of threat to the galaxy, they've got to choose a champion to represent Earth in this battle. And of course, who else would you call except Superman? But, you know, Muhammad Ali's got something to say. And so he ends up being, or challenging Superman to be able to fight so that he could fight for the Earth. Here we go, right? Box you. I'm not going to box you. I'm going to whoop you, but not too bad. So this is great. Just the two of them going back and forth. Like Muhammad Ali knowing he's the greatest and Superman knowing he's the greatest. And it's funny. I think this actually ends with Muhammad Ali saying, "We're the greatest, Superman." But what I love about this, being able to see this one, like I said, in this huge oversized format, and in its original colors. But what I love about it is just Neal Adams is a master. Like looking at this book from every angle, Muhammad Ali looks exactly like Muhammad Ali. Like, I think the famous quote is that Neal Adams draws superheroes the way superheroes would look if they existed in real life. And Muhammad Ali is and was a real life superhero. And so to see him get this treatment, be immortalized in a comic book, it's just a treat. It's just a treat. And for Neal Adams to be able to draw human likeness as well as this, and then to be able to draw this like crazy alien thing that doesn't exist, like the same guy shouldn't be able to do this twice. I was just praising Tom Mandrake for having the same sort of skill set, like to just be able to draw anything. Look at Howard Cosell. That's cool. But yeah, man, growing up, my dad was a huge Muhammad Ali fan. It's hard to explain how big Muhammad Ali was. I think the best comparison I can give you is he was like the Michael Jordan of that generation. This book was printed in 1978. So Superman's at the height of his popularity, as is Muhammad Ali. And man, like just two huge, superpowered egos, personalities. But anyway, yeah, like being the world heavyweight champion meant a lot in this day. So Muhammad Ali was larger than life. And this, what other way to show a person being larger than life than put them in space and fighting against the cosmos and against Superman? But Neal Adams is just a master. I probably shouldn't be thumbing through these one by one. There's also a slight chance that you've never read this before and actually want to read it and not have it spoiled by me. So I guess I should stop thumbing through. But I just had to show this to you guys. I mean, it's perks of having a top-down setup. Now I can actually do like real overviews like I want to. So I'm glad this could be the first one. So anyway, if you did not know that DC was reprinting this facsimile, well, now you know. It came out this Tuesday or Wednesday. So go ahead, race down to your local comic shop, see if they've got a few left. $14.99, that's a steal compared to what the original issue would go for on eBay. And you get the benefit of it being basically brand new. It's still printed on newsprint and all that, but it's just like the original without it being already faded and stuff. So I love that. And that's going to do it for me in this overview. Until next time, stay safe, stay awesome, and read something dope today. Peace.